We've just been told that the former ABC newsreader James Dibble has died at the age of 87. He made history by reading the public broadcaster's first television news bulletin in 1956. Over a career that spanned nearly 30 years, he became one of the most familiar faces on Australian television.
Good evening.
On the 5th of November 1956, a young radio presenter, James Dibble, became part of Australia's broadcast history. In a makeshift studio at Sydney's Gore Hill, he read the ABC's first television news bulletin.
They wrote a news bulletin and slapped some makeup on me and brought an extra table in, and I sat there and read that very first news bulletin.
From the 1950s to the 1980s, James Dibble presented the big stories of the era.
In Australia, and only this month, we've had a change of federal government for the first time in 23 years.
He saw governments come and go, and the end of black and white television.
Welcome to the ABC News in colour.
For many generations of Australians, James Dibble was the face and the voice of the ABC. He was the figure of trust that we all turn to at 7 o'clock every night, bringing the great events of the world and the great events of Australia.
James Dibble was born in Newtown, Sydney in 1923 to a family of bakers. He served in the Pacific during the Second World War in the Royal Australian Air Force. His first radio job was with the ABC in Canberra. Apart from a short stint with Radio 2GB, he stayed with the ABC. When he retired in 1983, James Dibble was honoured with a civic reception.
Just an ordinary bloke doing his job and doing it to the best of his ability.
James was a tremendous professional. You always felt that he was absolutely committed to doing the job properly. And he taught me, I think, a great sense of the discipline of the job and of the genuineness of the job.
He never lost interest in the news, and he never lost the knack of news reading, as he showed not long ago at the 50th anniversary of ABC television.
That's ABC News for this evening. I'm James Dibble. It's been an absolute pleasure. Good night.
And those of us lucky enough to work with Jim will remember him as a true gentleman.